Want to know why DevOps skills like CI/CD, Docker, Kubernetes, and Terraform are suddenly becoming a must-have for data engineers? In this video, you will understand how modern data projects are deployed at scale and why top companies are actively hiring for these skills. By the end of this video, you will understand why DevOps is no longer optional for data engineers. If you are in IT and still stuck in the same salary, not getting enough interview calls, listen carefully. Right now, there are two types of people. Those who keep waiting and those who upgrade their skills and move into high-paying roles, earning 15 to 45 plus LPA because the market has already shifted. Cloud, data, AI, DevOps. These are the roles driving real career growth today. At Coding Superstars, we have helped thousands of professionals move into top tech roles.
I got placed in IBEX Labs. Previously, my package was 8 lakhs. Now it is around 14 lakhs. Thanks for the Coding Superstar for the guidance, and the course is very worth it.
I have accepted a position as a DevOps engineer at NTI Mindtree. The skills which were taught by Coding Superstar were directly applicable to the role, and I'm confident that they will be essential for my success.
Recognized by Silicon India as one of the top 10 cloud computing training firms in India. People who once had zero coding experience are now working in top companies like Microsoft, Accenture, TCS, Infosys, and more. This is not just another course. This is your path to becoming industry ready. So watch this till the end.
What is the second layer? Well, we like to talk about DevOps. Why do we need DevOps? First of all, is DevOps needed? Let's see the facts. Okay, let's just Control F. Let's search for DevOps and just see how many of the companies, are expecting for a data engineering role are expecting DevOps skills. As you can see, EXL service analytics, they are expecting, maybe DevOps, CI/CD, all these things. And even TCS is expecting DevOps skills, right? As you can see, what all companies, maybe Infosys is expecting DevOps skills, Accenture is expecting DevOps skills, Cognizant is expecting DevOps skills, Wipro is expecting DevOps skills, Capgemini, IBM India, right? The list goes on and on. Almost 90% of the companies are expecting you to have DevOps skills. Okay, why? Why is the companies expecting you DevOps skills? What is the importance of DevOps? Why is DevOps so important even for a data engineer? It was not that important in 2025 or 2024. Right now, it has become important. Okay, so let's try to understand how DevOps skills are related to data engineer. For that, let me give you a clear-cut clarity on how DevOps and data engineer works. For that, let's imagine that you are working in Amazon. Okay, why Amazon? Because Amazon is one of the prominent e-commerce company. During the big billion days, each and every second, there is huge amount of sales that is happening. That is, there is huge amount of volume of data that is getting generated, and it is getting generated at a huge velocity. Okay, and this is a classic example of big data, right? Where the velocity of the data is very huge and volume is very huge. This kind of data where the data is keep on flowing every second, every millisecond, it is called as, what is the data called as? I will give you two options. Is it called as option number A? It is called as batch processing data. Option number 2, it is called as stream processing data. Can you guys answer? Okay, for the e-commerce company like Amazon, what kind of data it is? Yes, it is stream processing data. Okay, what is the difference between batch processing and stream processing? Batch processing means once in a day. Okay, it's not continuous. The data is can be processed once in a day. Example for batch processing, for example, attendance tracker. Attendance will be processed only once in a day, right? But e-commerce market, like our stock market, each and every second there is some sort of a sales happening or some sort of a stock market is saying. That is the reason we need to work on this part. Okay, this is called as stream processing data. I will be working on more of stream processing data because that is the kind of projects the companies will be expecting. So now you are here as a data engineer. What will you do as a data engineer? As we already learned, as a data engineer, what you will do? You build data pipelines. You build data pipelines with the help of tools such as Data Factory, Databricks, Synapse, and all of it. We have already learned about this. How does a data pipeline look like? Okay, let's draw some data pipelines. This is how the data pipelines look like. Okay, so how many data pipelines will be there in a single project? Can you guys answer? How many data pipelines do you think will be there in a single project? Okay, how many data pipelines will be there in a single project? So let me give you, maybe So let me give you the option. Option number 1, okay, there will be less than 150 data pipelines in a single project. Option number 2, okay, there will be around like more than 800 data pipelines in a single project. Option number 3, okay, maybe it depends, okay, on, okay, project. Which option is right? 1, 2, or 3? How many data pipelines will be there? Correct. It depends on the project. Okay, depends on the project. If the project is small, it may be less than 150. If the project is huge, it may be 850, 800 plus pipelines. Generally, it may be in the range of 300 to 400 data pipelines. Okay, so this is, for example, if there are 20 data engineers in a single company, okay, if each and every data engineer manages 20 pipelines, there will be 400 data pipelines. So this is how it works. You should know the calculations, because in the interviews, the interviewer will ask you in this range. Okay, he will ask you in this range. Okay, so this is all about data engineering. Till here we have done with the data engineering role. Okay, till here we are done with the data engineering role. The data engineering role is done here. Okay, so now we need to deploy the data pipeline to multiple servers. Okay, so now we need to deploy, okay, okay, this into multiple, okay, we need to deploy this into multiple servers. Okay, server number 1, server number 2, server number 3, server number 4. First of all, can you tell me why do we need to deploy this into multiple servers? Why can't we deploy all this data pipeline into single server like this? What is the problem if we deploy into single server like this? Can you guys answer? What is the problem if you deploy all the data pipelines into single server like this? Quickly, I want you guys to answer very quickly. What will happen? Redundancy. And simple, if the server number 1 is overloaded, if there is no additional servers, if this crashes, even the Amazon application will crash. As simple as that. For that reason, we should have backup. Okay, because if the load on server number 1 is very high, the load will be transferred to server number 2. If the load on server number 2 is also very high, the load will be transferred to server number 3. The load on server number 3 is also high, it will be transferred to server number 4. This is called as, what is this called as? The approach of transferring the load to, okay, different servers to make sure there is no downtime of the application is called as, what is this approach called as? Now let me give you the hint. It starts with L. The answer starts with the letter L. It is called as load balancing. Correct. Load balancing. Okay, Shiv-Kumar answered it right. It is called as load balancing. Okay, so load balancing. The first reason is load balancing. Second reason is for disaster recovery. Disaster management in the sense, for example, okay, Iran has bombed one of the data center in, okay, Bahrain. Amazon data in Bahrain. Gone. Everything gone. No backup, nothing. Okay, the Amazon application was not working there. Okay. Similarly, during tsunami or earthquake or flood, any kind of disaster, we need to have a backup. For that reason, we need to deploy our data pipeline to multiple servers. Who does this? That is done with this help of DevOps skills. We can deploy to multiple servers only with the help of DevOps skills. What we'll do with the help of DevOps skills? We have to deploy the data pipelines. We have to deploy the data pipelines. Okay, how do you deploy the data pipelines to multiple servers? Like this. We deploy the data pipelines to multiple servers like this. So what are the skills do we need to deploy the data pipeline to multiple servers? We need what? Number 1, we need CI/CD skills, continuous integration and continuous deployment. We need to know how to build and deploy CI/CD pipeline. Okay, so do we need any coding for this DevOps? No, we need scripting. Okay, what is the difference between coding and scripting? Scripting is a lightweight programming language. It is really simple. You can learn it in 2 to 3 days. Okay, if you use common sense, it's very simple. What are the examples of this scripting? YAML scripting and PowerShell scripting. Okay, even if you are new to this, we'll be covering this. Okay, second thing. Okay, we'll be talking about Linux. Why we need Linux? Linux commands is used because to make the pipelines more secure. For the security reasons, we'll be using Linux commands. May I know how many of you are new to both Linux and scripting? Type in new in the chat box. If you guys are new to both Linux and scripting. If you are new to it, just type in new in the chat box. Because this is really important. Even if you are new to it, we'll help you out in learning this. Even if you are new to it, we'll help you out and learning this part. Okay, so once that is done, we'll be getting to CI/CD part. Then second, we'll be learning about Kubernetes and Docker. We'll be learning about Kubernetes and Docker. Okay, the third thing we'll be learning about what? Once you are done with the Kubernetes and Docker part, then we'll be learning about Terraform for infrastructure provisioning. The fourth will be learning about monitoring tools. We need to know about monitoring the entire project, right? So maybe if anything that doesn't work, we have to need something to fix. Then fifth, we'll be working on end-to-end projects. Okay. So now, before getting started into DevOps, okay, I think maybe most of you might be new to Azure portal, right? So now when you are new to Azure portal, we should have also, okay, first thing, we should even learn about, okay, Azure fundamentals, that is AZ 900. This will be covered. Okay, we'll be knowing all the how to create an account, how Azure works, all the services in Azure we'll be working on. Then we'll be working on AZ 104, which is Azure admin. This is where we'll be working on all the practicals. Once this is done, we'll be getting to this part.